It's us. Again. Caitlin and Blair. Driving in our car.
We're back in the car again.
Welcome to trip number 4 on our 8-month journey. And on this trip, we are driving from Montana to Florida and back. We're going to learn why carving things into mountains is a thing. And meet this woman who lives in the smallest town in the U.S. We sleep in the Smoky Mountains, go to Disney World, drive Route 66, and a lot of other stuff. So I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen. Car's not turning on. Big news. We installed a hitch to the back of our car so we could put a cargo carrier on to carry our cooler and a bunch of other stuff so we didn't have to jam pack our car anymore. New and improved. And our whole mattress is just set up with a blanket so you can just move it over. Easily fold it like this. So nothing's gonna go over here. And we trimmed the tops of these. So yeah, we can see out the rear view mirror. That's a game changer. Okay, the real test. Can it withstand my weight? Let me tell you when, okay? Okay, don't like speed. Oh gosh. It's working. It works. Packing still has not gotten any easier.
A little bit easier. It's just because the last trip we went on was a plane and a train. So it's been a minute since we've done the car, but look at these babies.
We got babies all over. We will not move them because they're too cute.
2 of us.
Yeah, 8 pairs of white socks.
Okay, that's good. Nothing worse than cold feet.
Don't have cold feet. We have toilet paper in there? We can run. Do we have gaff tape still?
Yes. Okay, how many pairs of sweatpants are you bringing? Is 4 excessive? But none of my bags are zipping, so I don't know how I'm gonna fit all these. I might do mine like without baskets.
Sweat shirts. I'm not bringing jeans.
Me neither.
We're all packed. Hey, baby girl. You're the best. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you, baby girl. Locked and loaded. It is 7:16 a.m.
And it's light enough to drive. Just gonna be lots of deer spotting.
Yeah, we want to get there hopefully when it's light-ish.
Yeah, because it's dark at 5 p.m.
I know.
Wish
South
us luck.
Dakota. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, here goes the car. It's not turning on. Is the light on the whole time? Car's not turning on. Oh, that's great. Hey, Caitlin, car's not turning on.
Seriously? What did we leave on?
I don't know. We must have left one of the little light switches on. Great first start. Oh my gosh.
What did we? There's nothing.
So these little lights.
I had just turned one on.
Okay, you had just turned it on because that was one that I saw, but these ones always stay on.
I had just turned that on.
I have no idea.
You reversed it up, and then you turned it off.
Yeah.
And we don't have anything plugged in.
No. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, what's on?
Nothing. We better go get our battery checked.
And you just turned that light on because when I came out, that light was on.
I just turned it on.
Okay.
Yeah. So we think that it's because when we packed up the car yesterday, we had like the doors open all day, and maybe that drained the battery unknowingly.
Yeah. So
we're gonna see.
These dome lights will stay off, and I think we just barely click. I mean, we can click the lights.
We
it's
can
just,
be normal. Blair.
I know.
We traveled before. All right, moment of truth. But let's get gas first, so we leave it off for a little bit.
Okay, we're turning off the car. It's been 25 minutes, maybe. Okay, I turned it off.
Are you nervous?
Not really. I feel like it's gonna be fine, but you know, anxiety is always there.
This is the things we don't want to leave open.
Oh. But there's no light.
Turned the thing off, huh? That was smart.
I pretty much always leave it off.
Okay, I always leave it on.
Okay.
Wait. All right, let's see.
Okay, here we go. Turns on. It turns on, everybody. Oh, I'm so nervous.
We are using our new kettle. It charges by 12 volts, so we can do it in the car, and it'll boil water. So we're warming up some water while we're driving, so then we can use it to like wash our face tonight or make some hot chocolate.
We're getting back to the groove of campsites and like dispersed camping. The first site we saw was really awesome. Normally it'd be fine, but we think it might snow tomorrow morning. So Caitlin was a little worried about the roads. We went to look at another site and like that backed out. So I was like, ugh. So we're gonna go look at this parking lot that we saw in iOverlander. And I think that that's gonna be good because it's level. It's like a parking lot right outside of Crazy Horse, which we're going to the next morning. So we should be good. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, you're good.
This is our dinner tonight.
Tofu and noodles.
Yummy.
We're in the parking lot of Crazy Horse. Pleasantly surprised with your cooking?
Yeah, the noodles are good. They could use more flavor, but it's pretty good. It's cold outside, like literally freezing. So we're trying to do our whole routine sitting in the car.
Yes.
So we're going the easy route with a face wipe. Nice after a long day.
Yeah, and it gets dark at 5 p.m. So that's a big change from everything else we've been doing. Gotta get those armpits.
Flossing.
I kind of have to look at this to see.
Not something I thought we'd be doing right here.
We already went to the bathroom at a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. If we ever get a van, I can't wait to look back on these videos. Toothbrushes.
We're going to use our water bottle, and then we have a cup that we're going to pour the water into.
And we didn't bring our electric toothbrushes because I hate having to pull them off, put them in, and put them in a case. So we're just doing toothbrush with a clip. That's fun. Huh? Yeah. Good toothbrush.
We have hot water to sanitize our toothbrushes.
Oh, I didn't really think I needed to.
No, but we're out of kind of regular water. I already lost my toothbrush cover.
Oh boy.
That is clean enough
That's how you clean in a car.
when it's 32 degrees outside.
Big news, we don't have to move the cooler because it's not even in the back of the car. It's in the cargo carrier. Do we even have to get in the cargo carrier? Yeah. Tonight, I mean.
Not since we got our food.
Sweet.
Like a little baby.
Man.
Get under.
Oh.
You're sleeping in your jacket?
Well, I was going to take it off. We've been worried about, well, I have, about the car battery. And so we totally forgot we had these twinkly lights that we could have had on this whole time. Caitlin thinks she overdid it with the layers. a little struggle getting in, but she's in.
It's added a few extra inches and a few restrictions of movement.
We're getting back into the car mode, so.
Yeah, it takes a minute to get into the groove.
Yeah.
It's not simple.
No, it's not. But it was a lot simpler
Yeah,
with.
but nothing's simple. Even when you think you're simplifying the task,
Yeah.
there's still steps. It's always a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's a small space
Yeah.
with a lot of stuff.
I think I might try to put some stuff that's in the backpack in the cargo carrier so that it's skinnier.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like no matter what we do, there's just always an excess of stuff. But this is our longest drive, so like for the next few days.
So we'll try to get places earlier.
Yeah, and that'll be better if we have light. It was hard in the dark for the first time.
Yeah, and like finding a place.
But I can tell you, I am at least 100 degrees in this thing currently. So I don't think I'm going to get cold in the middle of the day.
So tomorrow we're at Crazy Horse parking lot, so we're ready to go.
And it doesn't open until 9.
Yeah.
So we're going to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make some oatmeal.
Yeah.
We're going to have some breakfast. Now we're going to go watch a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Night.
Buzz hanging out the window.
First night in the car.
We stayed warm.
We stayed really warm. Caitlin has her comfy on.
I do not. But I say it's so warm.
Okay, but Blair also is wearing leggings and sweatpants.
And a thermal
And a thermal. But now we're gonna undo the car for the first time with our new setup. So we're gonna time it and see how long it takes us to do.
Okay. It's so pretty though.
Car started. So that was 8 minutes. Caitlin's got to go to the bathroom. So we're at a gas station because we didn't want to use the bucket this morning, but we're going to use it eventually. Eating some water.
If I was smart, I would have put my creamer in first to give it a little chance to mix and warm up, but day one life.
For those that don't know, Crazy Horse is a work-in-progress memorial of the Lakota leader Crazy Horse. The mission of this memorial is to protect and preserve the culture, tradition, and living heritage of the North American Indians. We started at the Welcome Center, and there is a lot to learn here. I highly recommend watching the short documentary first, then going through the entire museum, and lastly catching the van ride to take you to see the monument itself. When you do it in that order, it just gives you way more appreciation for what's happening here. Like I said, there is so much stuff here to cover, and I got obsessed as I do at museums. So I'm going to try to divide this into 3 parts that were most fascinating to me. Part 1, Portrait Wall. These are portraits of the 72 Custer survivor warriors that fought in the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876. At the time of the battle, these warriors were between 13 to 20 years old. The painter behind these portraits was David Humphreys Miller. When he was 16 years old, he left his home state of Ohio and headed west to follow his passion for Indian lore and his interest in the Battle of Little Bighorn. He wanted to learn about the famed Custer's Last Stand, which was the most decisive Native American victory and the worst U.S. Army defeat. I am not a history expert, so don't yell at me, but here is what I think you need to know about the Battle of Little Bighorn. In 1868, the U.S. government signed a treaty recognizing South Dakota's Black Hills as part of the Grand Sioux Reservation. But the government broke the treaty in 1874 when Custer led a group of miners looking for gold in the Black Hills. When gold was discovered, the U.S. government ordered all the Native Americans in that area to be confined to reservations, and anyone who didn't was considered hostile. 2 leaders of the Sioux, Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse, strongly resisted these efforts and gathered thousands of Native Americans on the banks of Little Bighorn River. Meanwhile, Custer and 2 other generals planned for Custer to move in and surround the tribes and wait for reinforcements. Custer did move in, but didn't wait for reinforcements, and instead he planned a surprise attack for the next day, dividing his 600 men into 2 groups. Custer and his group would attack from the north, and the 2 other battalions would attack from the south and prevent tribesmen from escaping. But these 2 battalions ended up retreating when they found out they were outnumbered. So Custer and his men went in and were totally outnumbered. The Native Americans defended their land, and Custer and his army were slaughtered. It was after the Battle of Little Bighorn that the United States government would send scouts to round up any Northern Plains tribes who resisted. This forced many Indian nations to move across the country, always followed by soldiers, until starvation or exposure would force them to surrender. David Humphrey Miller roamed various reservations in the Dakotas, Montana, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Oklahoma, speaking to the warriors who survived the battle and painted the portraits of these aged, heroic men. Miller lived among them and learned over 14 native languages. You can learn about each warrior in this booklet that accompanies their portraits. Part 2. Who is Crazy Horse? There is so much to learn about him, but to put it as briefly as possible, he was born in 1842 in present-day South Dakota and became a war chief at only 24 years old. Several incidences occurred that created Crazy Horse's distrust in the white man. In the Battle of Little Bighorn, Crazy Horse led the warriors against Custer's men. They won that battle, but ultimately couldn't win the war. From then on, he and his people were harassed by the military and lost their food source, which forced Crazy Horse and his people to surrender in May 1877 at Fort Robinson in Nebraska. It's said that Crazy Horse told his followers that he would one day return to them in stone. Which leads us to part 3, the memorial. It all starts with Chief Henry Standing Bear. He was born likely in 1874, and his mother was sister to Worm, Crazy Horse's father. At 14, he was one of the youngest and first of the Indian children to attend Carlisle Indian School in Pennsylvania, and he excelled in debate. Definitely take time to learn more about Chief Standing Bear because he is an amazing person and just has an awesome story. Then enters Korczak Zalkowski. Yet another amazing person that you're going to have to take your time through the museum and learn more about. But he was born in Boston of Polish descent and was orphaned at the age of 1. Basically, he became a really famous mountain carver after having a really tough first half of his life. So Chief Standing Bear learns of Korczak when Korczak was working on Mount Rushmore for a short time as an assistant during the summer of 1939. Chief Standing Bear wrote to Korczak and asked him to carve the memorial of Crazy Horse so the white men would know the red men had heroes also. And I think that sold Korczak on this whole thing, because from this moment on, Korczak dedicated the rest of his entire life to carving Crazy Horse on the side of this mountain. The mountain carving memorializes the spirit of Crazy Horse to his people when in Fort Robinson, after having been forced to surrender, a white trader asked him, "Where are your lands now, Crazy Horse?" And Crazy Horse, with his left hand thrown out, pointing to the answer to the question, replied, "My lands are where my dead lie buried." After learning so much at the museum and from our tour guide, Gary Ashley, we got to see the different methods they used to sculpt the memorial. And if you're wondering why it's taking so long to finish, it's because the funds for this project are all donation-based and they take no money from the government for obvious reasons.
1877, they just illegally seized the Black Hills from us. But by doing it that way, we were able to get our case in court in 1980. And we won our case on the intimate domain. And it was after that we asked the government to give us our sacred sites back. That's all we wanted back. It's like 14% of the Black Hills. We just want our sacred sites back. They said they wouldn't do it. They offered us $117 million. We refused to take the money, so they opened an account. They put that money in an account, and they put our names on it. But they also put the Dakota's name on it. And the Dakota sold their land. But the reason they did it is they thought the Dakota would take the money. But they stuck with us and refused to take that money.
It was really awesome, and it was really cool because we got to speak to like a actual Lakota tribe. Yeah, tribe member.
Yeah.
But he told us a lot of like really interesting things about what they kind of perceive is happening in like America, like the middle class is being totally eliminated, and they don't like how the American people are being treated, like being divided, because they said if we get divided, then the government takes over, and they know how the government
Well, because that's what happened to them. Their tribes got divided, and it just basically tore them apart.
Next up.
Holy shit.
It's pretty impressive.
It actually really is. We're in the city of Wall at the famous Wall Drug store. We have 2 hours to see everything in Wall Drug. It'll be interesting.
And now we're parked at the Badlands.
Yeah, the Badlands grasslands.
No idea what it looks like, but we're like on a ridge. So I just know we're going to wake up in the morning and I have no idea what to expect.
Not a big thing. We can get into the course super easily.
Actually, like way faster than having. Remember, we used to have to take it out. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, this is so much easier. I love cargo carriers. We are packing for trip number Quattro.
Who's on camera right now?
You are.
Wait, can we redo this?
Don't show the
All right, get out of here. Let's go.
The license plate, don't.
Blair, I get it. I just showed the license plate, which was the first thing she told me not to do.
Got off to look at a road and to turn all the way back around to get back on the interstate.
She didn't talk it out. Didn't we have a rule?
I didn't
We're supposed to talk things out before
I wonder
you
if I could just get on this.
Oh my god. Alright, well, wish us luck.
I just think you should be able to get right back on.
You think everything
The
should
freeway.
just work for you?
Yes. That's so much to ask.
Stolen from my parents.
I got everything out. We'd put it in the cargo carrier.
Can we stop this? Yeah.
But like, we couldn't have put that thing in, that heating thing that your dad was showing us in here. We would have set something on
Dad
fire.
wanted us to use a propane heater. There is 10 inches.
We would have blown
we
up.
would have died.
I don't think he realized how small it was.
Yeah. It's a tight fit. She's a baby girl. She's a baby kitty. So I don't have any like nude bras, and all our Disney shirts are white.
Oh.
So
I think I was going 80 or 90.
probably 90.
And there was a cop on the other side of the lane, like going towards us, and he like flashed his lights.
As soon as he passed us, he put on his lights.
And then he just kept going and turned them off. So I think he was just warning me. And now I've set it on cruise control, so I can't go more than 74. Welcome to the lifestyles with a rich family.
Like when I lift this up, there's just like heat coming out onto my face.
Oh my god.